Is Metro PCS using you like an ATM? Then flip off Metro PCS and switch to Boost Mobile and save. Right now, if you switch to Boost, you get 2 lines with 3 gigs of 4G LTE data per line for only $50. With Metro PCS, you only get 2 gigs per line for the same price. Plus, get up to 2 free LG X-Power phones. That's 2 free phones. Boost is the best value in wireless among national prepaid carriers, and it's all powered by the fast and reliable Sprint nationwide network, which Car Con Carne runs on. Don't miss out. Visit a Boost mobile store now. Boost makes it easy to switch, and switching, makes it easy to save. Ralph Covert is here. It is Car Con Carne. We're going to eat Mexican food. Yes, indeed.
Let's rock it. Let's boost it.
It's Car Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
And it is Car Con Carne, the world's only food podcast recorded in a car. I'm James Van Alstyne. This is my car. The show brought to you by Boost Mobile. And in the front seat of my car, the incredibly talented. He is a musician. He is a writer. He is everything. A kids music superstar. You've had stage productions.
Playwright,
you've written books. I don't even know where to start. A Grammy-nominated guy, Ralph Covert.
James, pleasure to see you.
A bad example, if you will.
I have known to set some bad examples.
So right as we start here, I want to talk about where we are. I want to go on Facebook Live, if that's cool.
That's good by me.
All right, so we're going to do that.
Excellent.
Let me put this in position. I have a lot of wires here, Ralph.
There we go.
Hi, here we are. It's Facebook
Hey.
Live. I'm James Van Alstyne, sitting next to Ralph
here.
Covert, the Grammy-nominated, the titular Ralph of Ralph's World. Titular. The bad example, a Chicago favorite. He's a playwright. He's a Grammy nominee.
I am honored to be so.
And we're here in Pilsen. We totally struck out tonight.
We tried to go for the birria of my choice.
I wrote it down. I couldn't even say it myself.
We were trying to get goat tacos at this place down the street from my studio.
Barrera Reyes de Ocotlan.
Yeah.
And it's all goat stuff. And Ralph said, well, we can go there and get goat tacos. So I looked at the menu, and that's all they have. That and like
What
head
happened?
cheese.
They were closed or something?
Yeah. The light was off, and there was... they weren't doing it. So we're around the
Got my
corner.
goat.
We went to... I don't even know where we're at. I just picked the nearest taqueria.
Tortillas las Atontonilcos.
Well said. Well said.
They had goat.
So we're here. Yeah, we got goat tacos. Yep. I just kind of want to show Facebook Live what we're eating. And by the way, this podcast will be available in 2 weeks. Giant horchata, and this is a delicious horchata.
It's very good horchata.
Delicious. Okay. We should show off.
Our tacos.
Yeah.
Before we talk some
Let
music.
people see what we got going on. You got yours con queso. I got
Yeah.
mine sin queso.
Living in scene, as you...
Yeah, we are living in... Oh, these are definitely mine. I don't see any queso here. This is good. We didn't get napkins. Just so you know, Ralph, there are no napkins. I might have some in my glove box. All right, so this is... We got goat, pastor, and steak.
The goat looks to be the bomb.
I've never had goat. This is truly a first for me. Here are yours, sir.
Thank you, my friend.
These look delicious. All right, so like I said, this will be available as a podcast in 2 weeks.
The goat?
Yes, we're going to make the goat into a podcast.
Nice.
The world's tastiest podcast. And
Wow.
I will say thank you for watching this on Facebook Live. At some point, I need to switch people over to watching on Car Con Carne Live. I don't think I'm quite there yet. But, oh, look at that. The queso actually looks...
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was bad form to order cheese on a taco in Pilsen. That's kind of like...
Probably. I don't care.
It's kind of improper, right?
I just don't care.
Because you're Ralph freaking Covert. That's why.
I'm going to eat what I'm going to eat.
So we're going to talk about a lot of stuff in this podcast. Oh, whoa. Wait, hang on. Why is there more food? This is another taco. What is going on here?
They gave us 3 of each?
What is going on here?
Okay.
It's like the taco tap has just been opened up.
We ordered tacos. We ordered 1 of each. They gave us 3 of each.
Oh, this is madness. Oh,
You were set for the week, man.
The week. Oh, wait, there are napkins here. Success. So I guess we could start talking and then save the rest for the podcast. This is the tease. Oh, Ralph Covert just shared my video. Thanks, Ralph Covert.
Thank you, Fiona.
Can we start at the beginning with you?
Yep.
Can we start with bad examples?
Sure.
When I was a younger me, fresh out of getting kicked out of college, Bad Examples were really one of the first Chicago bands I became familiar with in that late 80s, early 90s period.
Mm-hmm.
And my perception of Bad Examples at that time was this was the band. This was the band poised to take over the world.
We were the band.
So tell me about that time.
Well, the code
I only ask questions when you have food in your mouth, by the way.
So, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Those were the days when we're just coming out of the 80s where everybody had, big hair and makeup, synthesizers. Punk had happened, but it hadn't gone mainstream.
Mm-hmm. I think I just said goat.
Oh, the goat is so good.
It's a little weird, but I have, not bad.
Great flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So
There's nothing more glamorous or sexy than eating on camera, by the way.
True.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, got Tacos Atontonilco over there and McDonald's. I mean, why is that place even open?
Right. And there's a churro place down there, too.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So, back then, the only way you could make it was to be on a label.
Right.
And every band, their whole journey was like, how do we get signed?
That was it. That was the aspiration of every band.
Every band.
Let's get a showcase. Let's get some labels. Let's
Right.
send out our demo tapes.
But it struck me even back then that, you sign to a label, and they own everything.
Right.
And
you never actually make money because they
Yeah,
spend
and that just
outrageous
offended
amounts
me.
of cash on marketing. You need to be stratospheric in sales to ever feel comfortable as an artist monetarily.
And so
That's how they get you.
even back then, I decided that I didn't want to do that. So, from the very beginning, the Bad Examples, before DIY was a thing, we were DIY. Our first show, we had a cassette for sale at our first show. Because I believe you need to have something to give people, right?
Yeah.
Something to sell them.
Got to have merch.
Got to have merch. So what I did the first days, I don't know if you know this. The Meat was our first cassette. My first album.
M-E-A-T.
Yep. It's a play off Meet the Beatles.
Yeah.
Only Meat, M-E-A-T. So, but what we did, every cassette, I taped a condom on it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
By hand?
By hand.
That's
So
expensive.
I duped them. I made the tapes myself in my living room. And printed the covers at Kinko's.
And they were all magnums that you taped on there.
Well, I don't know. They were whatever was cheapest. But it was it was the 80s, so the AIDS thing had come out, right? But it wasn't. It was still very. You couldn't. People didn't talk about condoms, and you
Right.
couldn't. You had to go to the drugstore. It was very very embarrassing. So what I did was, by the beginning of the night, I'd be selling a cassette with a condom attached. By the end of the night, I'd be selling a condom with a tape attached. So it really worked out pretty well
Right.
from a marketing standpoint.
Well, and it's true. Bad Examples are a social lubricant. Bad Examples have always been a conduit to getting people together and
in one-on-one situations. So no, but the kind of the Meat really generated a little. I made like however many 100 copies, and I figured it was done. And then we could make a real record, and then people are like, oh, can I have that record? Oh, it's sold out. What do you mean it's sold out?
Oh, wait, lost the mic.
Sorry about the thump, folks.
I want to thank Kevin for watching.
Hey, Kevin.
Fiona Gray saying this is so amazing.
Excellent.
I want to thank Stephanie for watching.
Nice.
And Frank.
Frank.
And Dana. And Craig. Craig Bechtel. He's not dead yet, so hopefully that food won't kill him.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Excellent.
All right, keep going. Sorry.
Well, when it came time to make Bad is Beautiful, we kind of realized we needed to take our time, figure out what it was. So we spent a couple years making that record in the studio.
And when that came
exploring.
out, you taped lube to the individual releases. It just got progressive. By the time you were like 3 albums in, it was like a ball gag.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Exactly. So, we built it up one fan at a time, one club at a time, and really just trying to
it's a very Midwestern approach. I mean,
it was very a blue collar approach to music. It was like, how do we, we didn't want to. How do we do this so that it's real fans, real people. How do we do this so that, for us it was about connecting with people through the music.
Mm-hmm. It was just a weird time. You talked about how at that point hair bands were kind of rolling off, and you kind of got in there right before music took another seismic shift. And even when Not Dead Yet came out, I mean, there were rumblings from the Pacific Northwest.
You're right.
And I think that had some influence on how far you could take Bad Examples at that time.
Tremendous. I mean, I remember we were on tour, and I went into this at a college radio thing somewhere, and I'm waiting for my interview. The guys are outside in the van. I'm waiting to do my interview, and the DJ plays this record. It's a really great sounding song. I'm like, this is awesome. What is it? Oh, it's this. He holds up this record cover with a baby reaching for a dollar bill. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Little did I know, it was Nirvana.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally had major labels calling up Water Dog saying, we'd really like to sign Ralph for the Bad Examples, but do you think Ralph could sing out of key and they could make the guitars sound really nasty? If so, we could sign him.
Yeah.
And Jay that worked with me that ran the label for me, he's like, no. Click.
Well, you always had that classic Midwestern power pop sensibility, which can work with fuzzed out guitars, but that wasn't what people were looking for.
Mm-hmm. I think what we did with the Bad Examples that was really unique was we kind of fused intelligent lyrics, great melodies, and songwriting with kind of a blues pub rock sensibility.
Pub rock, that's fair.
But we had with guys like Tommy O'Brien and John Deutsch on the guitar, we had guys that play the blues and play, soul music with the best of them. So they really brought that earthiness into it, And I think that really, was a lot of the pop people, a lot of the power pop people back in the 90s disowned us. I mean, we were not, the power pop people wouldn't accept us back then because we were too bluesy.
That's interesting.
Isn't that strange? Now it's like, whatever, you guys are whatever. It's power pop. But back then, in the 90s, the power pop people wouldn't have nothing to do with us.
Well, and that leads to a question I hadn't even thought of asking. Back then, in that period, was the scene fragmented along those lines? Was it supportive?
Very much.
Were there fiefdoms? Were there...
The 90s, where everybody was... In the 90s, when Pickles Pekarsky joined the Bad Examples on bass, all of his rockabilly people were mad at him that he had sold out, that he was like turning his back.
Right.
And John Deutsch had been playing with a legendary blues band and joined the Bad Examples. All those blues people were like, oh. And he's like, his joke was, I play both kinds of music. But, it was back then it was weird. It was pre-internet, obviously, it was the early 90s, and everything was very genre walled in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we weren't. I mean, we were one of the few bands that was just like kind of absorbing everything.
Well, all right, I want to hit pause so we can eat some more.
Okay.
Thank you, Facebook Live, for watching. Peace. And on the podcast, you'll get to hear this again, and it'll be amazing. It might even be a little bit edited.
Thanks for watching, folks.
And on the podcast, you're also going to hear Ralph talk about Ralph's World.
I will?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. I love Ralph's World.
Talk a little bit more about Bad Examples, everything else he's done, being nominated for a Grammy. That was cool.
That was cool.
And just overall Ralph Covert magic.
Well, that's
But
magic
thank you for watching. This will be on Car Con Carne in 2 weeks. Thanks, Facebook Live.
Peace out. Love you.
So, all right, the cameras are off. We're blowing noses. We're dripping stuff on our shirts. Yeah.
Let's rock it.
All right, so let's jump ahead a little bit, or a lot bit, I guess, from Bad Examples to Ralph's World. Ralph's World. I'm sure you've told the story a million times, but you kind of backed into being a children's artist.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't mind, tell the story again.
Well, when my daughter Fiona, who wants us to bring home tacos for her, like your son Noah.
Oh my gosh. I hit pause for 2 seconds. Ralph's daughter Fiona told him to get food. My son texted me, hey, if the tacos are good, bring some home.
Right? Called being a good dad.
Absolutely. And for the record, you have a daughter named Fiona, as do I. We're parental twinsies. Go ahead.
So, I'd started doing wiggle worm classes at the Old Town School when she was young. And I kept doing it because it was fun. I really enjoyed it. And the mom of one of my kids was sick with the flu or something, so the dad brought the kid in. And it was Jim Powers from Mini Fresh Records. And on the way out, he's like, Ralph, I didn't know you were Brendan's wiggle worms teacher. I'm like, Jim, I didn't know you were Brendan's dad. So we got to talk, and he's like, do you want to do a kid's record? I'm like, no.
Like, not even a moment's hesitation? You just flat out, no way.
Because kids' records suck. Like, why would I do that to the world? I mean, I know what kids' records sound like. They're terrible. And he's like, oh, let me take you to lunch, and I'll buy you lunch, and we can talk about it. I'm like...
Hearing you say that is exactly why people like Ralph's World.
Exactly. So he said, come on, let's make a kids' record. I'm like, no, I don't want to... I've spent my career making music that's worthwhile. I don't want to do that. He's like, well, but... I said, I will be willing to make a great record that kids like. Mm-hmm. And there was a long pause. He said, I think you just cracked the code. So that's what we did. We set out not to make a kids record, but to make an album of great music. And we, I insisted from the beginning, and Jim was all on board with it. We use great musicians, great studio, and great songwriting, and I said, I'm good at being an indie band. You're good at being an indie label. Let's not try to pretend to be some kids thing.
Let's be the Wiggles.
You're
Ralph Covert.
Yeah, let's approach this like it's like an indie rock thing. Mm-hmm. And that's what we did. And so he took all his strengths with the label. And so we were like playing club shows at 12 o'clock where Mom and Dad could have Bloody Marys. And we're hammering the in-stores and Borders and doing all the stuff you do to support an indie rock record back then. And nobody had done that. Nobody had done...
I believe that's probably true.
It was true. And it blew up. Back in 2001, 2002, first couple records, I mean, it was like the only thing on the landscape making this great music for kids and their parents. Mm-hmm. And it blew up from there. And the other thing that happened that was really nice was, you were talking earlier about moms and dads, or people making connections that you were joking around about.
Bad Example shows,
right?
Yeah.
But that's what happened. I mean, people would come. The Bad Example shows were like a social thing. People came and they would see the Bad Examples 4 times a month.
Yeah.
It was consistently, it was always different. It was always good. They would always come.
People knew it was going to be a good time.
And so so all the people that came got to know each other. And so people would end up meeting, they're either going with who they're dating or meeting their future spouse.
I'm going to...
Bad Examples.
I'm going to go down a tangent real quick. What you're describing is true community.
It was a community. It was...
And what a wonderful thing to be able to achieve with your band.
And I mean, to me, walking around the crowd talking to people, it felt like a community. It was like... And I'll give you a quick side story in a second, but one of the things that really launched Ralph's World was that all these people happened to be of the age where they're having young kids at the exact point where... In the same way that my career, I was in the same life cycle as them. Funny story. So I'm at a early Ralph's World show at Tower Records on Michigan Avenue back when it existed. And Matt Walker had played on, at that point, I think the first or second record was out. And Matt Walker played on the first 8, 9, well, he's played on all of Ralph's World records. He played all the drums on most of them.
An uncomfortably talented musician.
Such a great guy. Mm-hmm. Matt Walker, for those folks that don't know, is Morrissey's drummer, has toured and recorded with Garbage.
He's played with the Smashing Pumpkins.
He replaced Jimmy Chamberlain in the Smashing Pumpkins, which leads into the point, because he was a good friend. He programmed Billy's solo record, programmed all the drums on that. A good friend of Billy Corgan's. So Matt was actually Billy Corgan, who I knew from Pumpkins and the Bad Examples, came up at the same time, and we knew each other. Didn't know each other, but we knew who each other were.
I don't see those bands existing in the same circles back in the day.
No, I mean, he and I knew who we were, and we'd see each other at a breakfast restaurant and be like, But Matt had played Billy the demos of the first Ralph's World record before it came out.
Okay.
Because he'd been over at, working with Billy on stuff. So I play this Tower Records in-store. And, all the kids dancing, yada, yada, sign the autographs, yada, yada. And it's done, and the Tower Records gives me a gift certificate for $50 worth of CDs. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah, you made it.
So I'm shopping. I'm going through the CD racks. And as I'm kind of like, kids today don't know what it's like to flip through records and flip through CDs. But
Which
that's
was the best
yeah,
afternoon ever.
Physically, like looking at the CDs, right? So, and the person next to me, we're like going opposite directions. We bump into each other, and we both, it's Billy Corgan. He's going left, I'm going right. Like, oh, hi, Billy. He's like, hi, Ralph. And he's like, it's still happening. I said, what, Billy? He's like, from Bad Examples days to now, he's like Eeyore. He really is like Eeyore. He's the Eeyore of rock and roll. And I'm the Tigger. He says, Ralph, it's just like it always was. Your fans are so much nicer and so much more fun than my friends. Even back, I saw those kids running around. Just like Bad Examples days, they're smiling, they're laughing, they're nice people you'd want to talk to. And my fans, just look at their shoes and frown. Your fans are better than my fans.
Oh no, he did not say that.
He did. I said, however, you've got a few million more of them.
Right.
He's like, well, yeah, I guess that's a good thing.
Oh my God.
And he smiled. He was very sweet about it. It was him being,
supportive, self-deprecating,
supportive in his best Billy Corgan Eeyore sort of way.
So you put out that first album.
He's actually a good guy, despite what all the punk people say about him.
You put out the first Ralph's World album.
Thank you, Billy.
What did you think this was? Just a one and done? Like, yeah, I'll try this. I'll write these songs, maybe make them general audience, and then I'll go back to being Ralph Covert.
I had no aspirations to. Yeah, absolutely.
What was the first indication that, holy crap, this is actually a thing? Like this Ralph's World thing is, I've got another album in me. I've got another album after that in me.
It just took off. I mean, the shows were going, the things were selling. I was playing all these in stores. People were loving it. We did. It was like the Beatles. We did like 3 albums in the first 2 years. I mean, it was just like exploding. You couldn't help but be excited by the chance to pursue it. And then like little things like my publicist says, because you're worried when you start making kids music. You're like, okay, I'm leaving the cool circle.
Right.
I'm going to the lame lens. Right. My publicist is like, I can't publicize this because he's a personal friend of mine, but Paul Simon has 2 copies of your first album. One for his Manhattan home and one for his Hamptons home, because he took the kids to the Hamptons house and left the CD in the Manhattan thing, and they screamed bloody murder. So now he keeps a copy of your album in either house.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
It's like, all right, maybe this is not so bad.
That's outstanding. Here's how I knew Ralph's World was, it's hard to say, Ralph's World was really coming together. I was at a radio station this is probably 2003, 2004, and a guy I worked with said, yeah, I'm going to a North Shore birthday party. They got Ralph's World to play the party.
Nice to be name dropped.
Yeah. I'm like, Ralph Covert. All right.
That's awesome.
Doing money. You're making some money on the private kids party circuit.
Oh man, back when it was blowing up, like people would be flying me on private planes out of Chicago to do their birthday parties in different cities.
Well, and
it was just crazy back then.
And this speaks to what you said. There was nothing else in that genre playing like you were. Playing down.
It's a genre now. They call it kindy.
That's awesome.
It's a genre. How about that? It's awesome.
Tell me about getting the Grammy nomination. How did you react when you found out?
I guess two things. One is I decided early on in my career, long before the bad examples, that I had a couple long conversations with myself about what is success. I know the music business is so artificial on some levels, and fame and quote unquote traditional success are so random. So I decided two things very early in my career that have served me well. One was that for me, I measured success by being able to do what I wanted to do with music. So as long as I was making the music I wanted to make and doing what I wanted to do with it, that I was succeeding. And I decided to not aspire to or measure myself by or place inordinate weight in the traditional mileposts of, million sellers or this award or that award or whatever. And it really served us well on the bad examples, because we used to say, one of our mottos in the band was, we wanted our albums to be, for us, a hit record, a hit album was one that people played when they were in the kitchen doing the dishes. Mm-hmm. That if somebody made it a part of their life, that was more important than it being a number one record. If people made it essential to their personal soundtrack. So that's how we weighed it within the bad examples. And I carried that over to Ralph's world. So something like the Grammy nomination, it was like, whoa, it's totally cool. It's totally cool. But at the same point, it drifted past the bubble of what mattered. To me, things that matter are, I was talking to a fan at a show a couple weeks ago. The dad came up to me at this show, and we shot a pilot to a TV show a couple years ago. We've been trying to get the series made, but we shot the pilot, and they have a copy of the DVD. And he came up and he said, I don't know if you know this, but my daughter has had some serious medical conditions, and we, as a result of some surgeries that we had to do with that, we were in the hospital last year for an entire month. And it was the tubes sticking into her from every direction, and she was in pain and frustrated and uncomfortable. He said the only thing that comforted her was the Time Machine, Ralph's World Time Machine guitar DVD. He said, and I kid you not, I watched your DVD 20 times a day for an entire month, because anytime it was on, she was at peace.
Oh my gosh.
And when it was off, if she wasn't sleeping or she wasn't watching your DVD, she was in agony and miserable and crying out.
Ralph, I'm listening to this story. I want to cry as I'm listening to this.
Right?
How did you respond?
I teared up and I hugged him, and I was just like, I'm honored. I'm so glad. So for me, that's success.
That is becoming part of someone's life.
Someone's life.
Through the good and the bad.
Through the good and the bad, I'm making a difference. And you want to be there for your kids. You want to be there for other kids. You want to be there for other human beings. And here was something I did creatively.
Yeah.
Was there for this family when medical science failed. Yeah. And was there to help them through. And that's I'll take that. That's it. I'm done, right?
Grammy nomination, super cool.
Great.
Would have been great if it went all the way, but you know what? You have that memory.
That's why I do it. I really, and that's why I make the songs I make. That's why I play the shows I play, because there will come a time when my thread ends, and I hope that I have the opportunity to share and give back moments like that, and that my music and my art can connect with people in that way.
So let's spin things forward. Present day. Right before we hit record on this podcast, you played me a new song.
Yeah.
What was the new song?
It's the lead-off track and the first single off the new Ralph Covert album. I've got a couple albums coming out. I've got a Ralph's World record coming out, and I've got this new Ralph Covert record out.
And the single's Alex...
Amen, Alex Chilton is Sleeping.
All right, so this is a 5-minute song. We can't share it here, but it is everything we love about Ralph Covert, because you have this very lush build-up around your songwriting. I guess the first question I would have about the song, is that how you envisioned it when you wrote it? Because you write from a very spare position, but this song is very, very full sounding. Did you hear that as you wrote it?
No, actually, an interesting story. This is really fascinating, and the production on this song, I crowdsourced it.
What do you mean?
I mean, I wrote the song, and then I published on my website a version of my friend Mike playing piano and me strumming along, and I recorded it with a click track, and then I put it on my webpage and put it on Facebook and said, "Here's this song." And I go to my website, download the Pro Tools files, download the chord chart, download the click track, add your overdubs, and send them back to me, and we'll combine them.
And it sounds awesome. You obviously got some great response because it sounds awesome.
Yeah, so it was like we put it out there and didn't know what was going to happen, and then we played around with it even more in the studio when it came back, and found ways to stitch it all together.
I love that. Now, in this song, there are a couple things going on. First of all, it's what it's like to be in a band.
Yeah.
The hopes and dreams and the realities around being in a band.
I'll get you a copy of it. You can include it in the podcast. How about that?
I would love it. But what I like about the approach, it's something that is very Covertian. Even when you take a cynical approach or have cynical lyrics, you're having so much fun with the way you present your music, the way you sing.
It's my daughter calling in the middle thing. I'm having an interview. How are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were still having an interview.
We are, but you're in it now.
Well, have fun.
What was your question?
Oh, no, we're just going to go to Skylark.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll grab you a goat.
Over if you want after.
I'll grab you a goat taco on my way out, okay?
Yeah, please do. Okay, have fun, guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
But the song is Amen, Alex Chilton is Sleeping. For those listeners that don't know, Alex Chilton, Memphis musician, originally had his first success in the Box Tops with the song My Baby Done Wrote Me a Letter, #1 record, as a teenager. After 3-4 years with that group, came back to Memphis and put together a band called Big Star. They put out a couple records on Stax that critics loved and were complete flops. And kind of band broke up and things submerged from there. This was the mid-'70s by then. By the 80s, people started rediscovering this music, and it kind of became this great band that no one had ever heard of. And it
became the Rosetta Stone for so much indie rock that followed.
Exactly, because, yeah, and it was a record that nobody, back then, again, it was physical vinyl. There wasn't the digital thing. So if you found a copy of Big Star, it was like, oh my God, like you said, like the Rosetta Stone, the Holy Grail. All the religious imagery is well put. And it has every musician lives in fear of making great music and being forgotten, right? That's kind of like the ongoing crisis, because most people don't make it.
Right.
I'm one of the rare success stories, and I'm not a millionaire. I'm in the 1%, or and yet I'm in the middle of that 10 people that are the middle class. There's 10 of us that are not broke or millionaires, and I'm one of them. But Alex Chilton kind of grew to represent, the iconic great music but never made it. You know, kind of
Right.
to stand. And then Paul Westerberg wrote a song called Alex Chilton about it, and it became even more, famous of an image, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the song kind of plays off that idea of the illusory and artificial nature of the rock and roll dream. And so it kind of talks about how that dream captures your soul and makes you believe you can do it, even though you know you're going to fail.
Yeah.
And talks of, mentions, name drops in tongue in cheek people that have made it, and then says, amen, Alex Chilton is sleeping.
Well, it's funny because you mentioned the almost religious reverence that Big Star commands, and this song feels very religious. The way it's orchestrated, it feels like call and response, like hymnal type stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to. That was, I was really glad that. I mean, that was kind of my thought with it, and that's the way we kind of mixed and put together some of the.
And the name dropping, as you're mentioning, Oasis and the Beatles. I can't help but think about your other famous name dropping moments in music. Not dead yet. Jimmy Page, Yoko Ono.
Right.
I mean, that's not the first time you've mentioned other musicians in song.
Yeah, I guess not. Well, it's other musicians in cities. It's like you need to talk about the context.
Mm-hmm. So I love the song. So that album, the new Ralph Covert album, comes out when?
October, I think we're looking at.
Okay. And then the new Ralph's World.
I think early August.
Which songs come quicker for you, or is it just whatever comes to you when it does?
Yeah, it's all about it. I mean, which comes for Christmas. I have, at the moment, I have over 100 produced songs at the studio that have not been released, and I've got a couple hundred.
You're like Tupac.
Written songs that we haven't tackled in the studio yet. And if I had more time, I'd have more. I mean,
It's like a faucet with you.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the creative process is. I mean, when I was younger, my goal was always 100 songs a year, and now I'm too busy with everything that's involved with it to spend that much time. I'd love to spend that much time.
I'm impressed. All right. All right, so that's what's on the way.
It would kill me if I wrote that much because I'd crushed trying to catch up with what I've got.
For real. All right, so that's what's going on. If people want to catch up with you, Ralph Covert, where do they go? What do they do?
RalphCovert.com is a great place to start. I've got Facebook for Ralph Covert, Bad Examples, Ralph's World. People can go to any of those. Instagram, Twitter at Ralph Covert.
Is Bad Example stuff streaming?
Yeah, everything's available on all the streaming sites. Spotify, Google Music, iTunes. We're as ubiquitous as one can be and be,
It's clear you are well in the digital age just by the fact that you crowdsourced and made excellent work.
We crowdsourced an entire song.
I love it. Before I let you go, I do want to read the Boost Mobile social media message of the week. I had a rockabilly band in the car last week.
Nice.
Yeah, it was nuts. So I had a guitarist sitting where you are, another guitarist in the back seat, and a percussionist playing a snare and an egg shaker. It was a little tight. And a harmonica player outside the window.
Nice.
Leaning in. That was pretty neat. So I had comments on that. Them Guilty Aces. Rebecca Point says, love them, and they were good. Lala says, I love this, and she followed that up with 2 heart-eyed emojis and 1 happy crying emoji, so she really did like it. And we did that in the parking lot of Gene and Jude's. Will Kazmaier says, great choice. Too bad the old Cock Robin's next door is gone. You're not distracting at all, Ralph Covert. I used to love their double-header ice cream cones. Do you remember Cock Robin, the ice cream place?
I know.
They used to have one in Skokie when I grew up. Also, Rachel Granite says, wow, haven't been there in years. Love that place, Gene and Jude. So thank you. If you do comment on this episode, if you comment on my passenger here, Ralph Covert, on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, it could very well be read right here. Ralph Covert, you are an immensely talented guy. We didn't even scratch the surface of everything you do, the books, the everything, but you are a creative force of nature, and thank you for sharing tacos with me. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks, James.
You're a fascinating guy. And
thank you. No, it's been great. You're great company. It's great to... Great to get to hang with you.
Here's how it goes. You hear a song, it soothes your soul. You're pulled into the church of rock and roll. And the music seems to have the power to save you. The words you hear, the melody, conspire to lift you up and somehow set you free. And it calls you out to share all that it gave you. Next thing you know, you find some friends, an old guitar, and it's your destiny that you will be a star. Though all the while you know it's a deception, but you pay the price, you give it all, and you fly high knowing that it's certain you will fall. Though you tell yourself that you are the exception, while Nirvana and the Beatles and Madonna take a bow, and the guitars in the bars are gently weeping. The winners and the wannabes are ghostly as their MP3s. Amen. Alex Chilton is sleeping. Here's what I mean. You buy a van, you hit the road, you shoot a video and play some shitty shows. And the doorman says you're really sure to make it. You count your likes, you count your streams, though they're ephemeral as your deepest dreams. As if your heart is only real if you can break it. While Bono and Bob Dylan and Oasis take a bow, and the guitars in the bars are gently weeping. The winners and the wannabes are ghostly as their MP3s. Amen. Alex Chilton is sleeping. Amen. Alex Chilton is sleeping. They'll tell you to quit, and you know you never will. Even when your amp is silent, there's music you can feel. In the Gospel of Paul Westerberg, we heard about the man from the holy town of Memphis, Tennessee. Baptized by obscurity, he suffered just like you and me. Amen. Alex Chilton is sleeping. While Taylor Swift and Elton John and Jimmy take a vow, and the guitars in the bars are gently weeping. The winners and the wannabes all paid a price for what was free. Amen. Alex Chilton is sleeping. On the road to fame and fortune, he broke down in his van. Amen. Alex Chilton is sleeping.